The Abrahamic covenant stands as a foundational pillar in the sacred histories of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Central to this covenant is the rite of circumcision, instituted by God as a binding sign between himself and Abraham's descendants. Traditionally, Jewish and Christian interpretations assert that Isaac, the son born to Abraham and Sarah, is the rightful heir through whom this covenant is fulfilled. However, a careful re-examination of the biblical chronology challenges this assumption. This article argues that Ishmael, not Isaac, was the first and only son to receive the covenantal sign alongside Abraham himself, prior to Isaac's birth, thereby establishing Ishmael as the sole and true heir of the original Abrahamic covenant. By exploring the timing, recipients, and implications of circumcision in Genesis 17 and 21, this piece invites readers to reconsider long-held views and appreciate the overlooked centrality of Ishmael in the divine covenant. The Bible establishes circumcision as the sign of the covenant between God and Abraham. Genesis 17 verses 9 to 11. Then God said to Abraham, "As for you, you must keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you for the generations to come. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you, the covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. It will be the sign of the covenant between me and you." Here, circumcision is the definitive sign of the Abrahamic covenant. The Bible affirms that circumcision was performed before Isaac was born. Genesis 17 verses 23 to 26. On that very day, Abraham took his son Ishmael, and all those born in his household, or bought with his money, every male in his household, and circumcised them, as God told him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised, and his son Ishmael was 13. At this critical juncture, only Ishmael was Abraham's natural descendant to receive the sign of the covenant. Isaac had not yet been born. This sequence of events reveals that circumcision is the outward and binding sign of the Abrahamic covenant. Ishmael was the only son of Abraham present to receive this sign alongside him. All others circumcised at that time were household members and servants, not Abraham's direct offspring. Therefore, Ishmael alone stands as the true and sole heir of the Abrahamic covenant, sharing this foundational covenantal sign with Abraham himself. When Isaac was born, he too was circumcised on the 8th day, Genesis 21 verse 4. However, this circumcision occurred after the covenant was already established through Abraham and Ishmael. Like the other members of Abraham's household, Isaac simply entered into an existing covenantal practice rather than establishing or uniquely embodying it. In this understanding, Isaac's circumcision parallels that of Abraham's other household members. He was brought into the covenantal sign, but did not share in the original covenantal enactment alongside Abraham. Thus, Isaac is seen merely as a participant in the Abrahamic covenant, not as its unique heir. The Sinai covenant was revealed exclusively to the descendants of Isaac through Jacob, Israel, establishing a separate covenantal framework for the Israelites. In contrast, the original Abrahamic covenant, established through circumcision before Isaac's birth, finds its complete and exclusive fulfillment in Ishmael, who was the first to embody and share this sign with Abraham. Traditionally, Jewish and Christian interpretations place Isaac as the sole heir of the Abrahamic covenant. However, this argument radically reorients that view. Ishmael alone shares the covenantal enactment with Abraham. Isaac, like the other household members, enters a covenantal practice already established. Therefore, Ishmael alone emerges as the true and rightful heir of the Abrahamic covenant. Summary of the articulation. Circumcision, the outward sign of the Abrahamic covenant, was first performed on Abraham and Ishmael before Isaac was born. This historical reality establishes that while Isaac and others in Abraham's household were participants in the sign of the covenant, only Ishmael shared in the covenant's original establishment and thus stands as its true and exclusive heir. In this perspective, Ishmael's role transcends mere participation. He alone embodies the Abrahamic covenant in its full and foundational form.